Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Utility Sports. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little bit of a fun one here, looking at the Jets head coaching search and my 5 preferred candidates for the job for the New York Jets. For those of you who do not know, I am a New York Jets fan, so I have quite a bit of an interest in this head coaching search and what it could possibly mean for our franchise. Also, if you are new to our channel, hit that subscribe button. If you do enjoy the video today, definitely love to have your support moving forward. We're close to 1,600 subscribers, so it'd be awesome if we could hit that by the end of the week. Now moving forward, looking at the fifth option for me would be Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator out of the Tennessee Titans job. And part of the reason I'm interested in him is he's a versatile play caller. You've seen a lot of success there for the Tennessee Titans offensively, even without a true, high-end superstar. Obviously, Derrick Henry is a high-end superstar, but he's kind of helped Derrick Henry emerge as that. Also, they don't really have a true superstar wide receiver. A.J. Brown, obviously very, very good after the catch. Gives you a lot offensively, but it's not like he's a top 5, top 8 receiver in the game necessarily. And Arthur Smith's gotten so much out of that offense. Obviously a 2,000-yard rusher this year, but also he's helped Ryan Tannehill really come into his own. Got him paid, obviously. Really big extension with the Tennessee Titans last offseason. And Tannehill, remember, was on the hot seat. He got traded out of Miami, came to Tennessee as a backup. Now Tannehill is the guy there, has played very well with Arthur Smith calling plays there for the Tennessee Titans. Good use of play action to help Ryan Tannehill. And I think that him coming to the New York Jets could maybe open up a little bit of Sam Darnold. We'd have to figure out the run game right now. We have a big void at running back. However, I think Arthur Smith would be the guy to maybe put together a good run game scheme week in, week out, get this offense clicking. I have a real bias towards offensive coordinators this offseason. I really prefer defense overall, actually. I usually would prefer the hire of a defensive coordinator, but with the Jets' recent struggles, finishing 31st in the NFL in offense 2 years ago and then 32nd this past season in offense, it's just hard to see a route in which I don't want an offensive coordinator coming in, to be honest. I want someone who's going to help us move the football, maybe turn around Sam Darnold's career or whoever the next QB is. I think Arthur Smith has a chance at that. He would be my fifth option. My fourth option is actually a defensive coordinator. He'll be the only defensive coordinator on this list. That is Brandon Staley from the Los Angeles Rams. I think that he's going to be an excellent head coach. Looking at the Rams defense, they had a nice win over the Seattle Seahawks yesterday. And Brandon Staley is really the reason why. He gets that defense humming. They're ready to play. They come in prepared. We saw Darius Williams obviously understanding that was going to be a screen route to DK Metcalf. The level of awareness that defense plays with now with Brandon Staley calling plays there. Obviously, he replaced Wade Phillips. He has just turned around that LA Rams defense. And the thing is, obviously, they have some star players there. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, that's hard to duplicate, but it's not like they are super deep. They have a lot of positions where you look at that and you're like, well, that's not the most filled out roster. And yet Brandon Staley is getting the Rams to perform at a high level on the defensive end of the field. And also, he's highly respected by McVay and the Rams organization. If he does not get a head coaching job, he will get a spendy extension, my guess is, with the Los Angeles Rams. So good for him. I would love for him to be a New York Jets head coach someday, possibly. However, at this point, I think offensive coordinator and offensive needs are much bigger than the defensive side of the ball. However, I would still love getting Brandon Staley. Now, third, Brian Daboll from the Buffalo Bills. That's an in-division hire if we were to go this direction. That's part of the reason why I'm interested in this. He would come in knowing what the Bills are going to want to do that could help us in 2 matchups a year against the Buffalo Bills. The biggest thing about getting back to the playoffs is you have to win in-division games. Brian Daboll could help us do that. Has an understanding of this division already. Could come and give us tips about what the Bills are going to do. He knows Josh Allen better than anyone. So if we were going to slow Josh Allen down for years to come, he would be the guy you'd want to be running the show here. He has helped groom Josh Allen as well. That's something that's very interesting to me when looking at a head coaching hire. Sam Darnold is only 23 years old. If there's going to be a guy that can help turn him around, it could be Daboll. I really like what he could bring. He calls plays for the Bills. And the thing is, too, they found so much success this past year offensively without a ton of playmakers. Obviously, Stephon Diggs, wonderful playmaker. However, players like Cole Beasley, although he's an all-pro second team, I don't think that was a deserving selection at all. But Daboll's gotten a lot out of his players. John Brown, his running back situation there with Moss and Singletary, that's not the strongest 1-2 punch in the league. He's made it work there with Buffalo. They've been extremely good offensively all year long. Josh Allen went from a below-average QB to one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL this season. He's absolutely balled out for the Buffalo Bills, and Daboll's a big reason why. I would love to have him as the New York Jets' next head coach. Next as well, Eric Bieniemy, another offensive coordinator, this time from the Kansas City Chiefs. Big takeaway for him is he had gotten to learn under head coach Andy Reid. We saw Matt Nagy's success with the Chicago Bears early on. He's made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. And now Bieniemy could be the same guy coming in for the New York Jets, bringing that different style offense with a lot of motion, a lot of gimmicky stuff, and really get the team to perform at a higher level. I think Jamison Crowder would really thrive in a Bieniemy offense. Now, moving forward from that, we'd have to find another running back. That's the biggest need, honestly, on offense. At a skill position, in my opinion, is running back at this point. But Bieniemy is going to be able to get a lot out of his guys, I feel. He has a high level of success with Kansas City's offense. Obviously, they have Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. The Jets do not have those pieces. But I think Bieniemy is going to be able to recognize the talent when he sees it on draft night. He's going to be able to bring in the right guys offensively. And he's also called plays for Kansas City over the past few years. Not every play. Andy Reid still does call quite a few plays, but Bieniemy, specifically during the Texans matchup in the playoffs last year when they were down 24-0, he was the one calling plays to bring them back into that game. I think there's a lot of high offensive potential for the New York Jets if Bieniemy is the hire. Now, some of you might be wondering why Bieniemy isn't one for me. For a lot of teams, it seems like he will be the number one choice. He's going to have a really hot market. I wouldn't be surprised if he lands in Atlanta or elsewhere. But for me, Bieniemy is a really good hire, but there's just one guy I would rather have, and that would be Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. Now, there's a little bit of risk involved with hiring Joe Brady. Don't get me wrong. He's only been an offensive coordinator in the NFL for 1 season. Before that, he was at LSU with a guy named Joe Burrow. I don't know if you guys have heard of him and the successful season he had at LSU 2 years ago. But Joe Brady understands football. This guy is the best offensive mastermind the offseason could present itself. I think that Joe Brady hire is a no-brainer for the New York Jets. There's a lot of risks there. I get it, because we don't know how he's going to function as a head coach. We haven't seen him in that role. He's just been an offensive coordinator wherever he's gone, but he's been great at that. I want him as the New York Jets head coach. I want him calling offensive plays for us. Look at what he did with Teddy Bridgewater this year, and even Philip Walker for a little bit. He had 4 different 1,000 scrimmage yard players for Carolina this year, that being Robbie Anderson, a former Jet, DJ Moore, who's actually a pretty good receiver, Curtis Samuel, who had not been very productive in his career, and Mike Davis, who had been kind of a journeyman running back. No Christian McCaffrey there, and yet the Carolina Panthers moved the ball with regularity. They were very successful, scored a lot of points, and I think bringing him to the New York Jets is a no-brainer. We could easily fill in a lot of weapons to the level of Robbie Anderson, Curtis Samuel, Mike Davis. Obviously, it's hard to get another DJ Moore type player, but we could bring in a lot of players that Joe Brady's going to find success with. And like I had mentioned about Bieniemy, hopefully finding success for Sam Darnold or whoever the next QB is, I have the utmost confidence that Joe Brady would be capable of doing so. He was so successful at LSU with Joe Burrow. Obviously, Jamar Chase could be a guy to target in the draft if Joe Brady is our next head coach. I would absolutely love that. The high-end potential for our team with him at the head coaching spot is a no-brainer, in my opinion. I think that he could bring so much success to the New York Jets. I'm really, really praying that we offer Joe Brady the head coaching position. He would accept it. It would be phenomenal for us to land him. I think teams are going to be a little nervous because he just doesn't have as long of a tenure as some of these other guys on the list. But I think that hiring Joe Brady makes all the sense in the world. You have to take a high-risk, high-reward type talent here in Joe Brady with where our roster sits. We don't have a lot of guys set. Now, hopefully Joe Douglas recognizes this and brings in Joe Brady. That would be the best move for the New York Jets, in my opinion. Let us know down in the comments below who you think the Jets will or should hire, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.